Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your April 16th to the 30th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Sagittarius, April 16th to the 30th, 2021, Sagittarius. April 16th to the 30th, 2021, Sagittarius. April 16th to the 30th, 2021, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly, guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. And let's look at the chakra energy for this time. This is going to be the place where we're a little bit sensitive, where we need to pay a little bit closer attention, give healing to. Sagittarius, April 16th to the 30th, 2021, Sagittarius. April 16th to the 30th, 2021, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Perfect. Ooh, okay. We'll fix that in a moment. And then we have the energy we need to be mindful of. What is the energy that Sagittarius needs to be mindful of? April 16th to the 30th, 2021, Sagittarius. What is the energy that Sagittarius needs to be mindful of? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Now the left-hand side is the inner self. The middle is the heart, the emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, and the public self. So we start off with the Fool, which is a beautiful way to start any journey. Of course, it is the way we start the tarot itself. We then have the Queen of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If you're born on the cusp with Capricorn, this part of your personality will be coming out a bit more. Then we have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy, time frame August 23rd to September 22nd. And we have the Two of Wands. That's really lovely. We then have the Queen of Wands, which Sagittarius absolutely represents you. You're represented by the Wands in the Minor Arcana. You're represented by Temperance in the Major Arcana. We then have the Sun, so there's a absolute blessing that's filling your heart. We have the Queen of Swords. So you're absolutely taking nobody's bull during this time. This is also air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And then we have the Ten of Swords. Okay. That does make sense because there's a resurrection of self here. We have the Nine of Swords. So we're starting the public arena. We're crowning the public arena with nightmares, doubts, fears, chaos. We then have the Nine of Cups, which is blessings, joys. So there's going to be this dichotomy to this time, this push and this pull, this sense of, oh my gosh, am I doing everything wrong? And then, oh my gosh, I kind of think I understand what's going on, or people see us as blessed during this time, and we can see ourselves as, really having so much to overcome. So that's really going to be interesting. The Strength card, which is Leo energy, time frame is July 23rd to August 22nd. And then we have the World. So the world starts opening to us. The chakra energy for this time is self-mastery. This is the solar plexus chakra, so this is the gut reaction to things. This is the way that we want to move forward, the passion that we have, the determination that we have. There is a sense, again, we see it in the public arena, where there's this beauty to us, there's these wishes coming forward, but there's also this sense of, oh my gosh, can I do it? Can I get to where I want to be? There's this worry, there's this sense of, I'm not the person that I once was. And that can be really disconcerting for us, but we're also going to have to really embrace the understanding that, yes, we're not the person that we once were, but there's this powerful change that is guiding us forward, that is connecting to us, that is giving us more. So here, there is the sense of needing to open up the doors, needing to say, this is me, this is what I want, this is what I desire, trusting ourselves a bit more during this time, Sagittarius. We have this beautiful way of bringing everybody together, of pulling people together, but we also have this really intense way of saying, well, not until I have everything worked out can I view myself as a success. And it's like, okay, the temperance comes in, the balance comes in, but we're never going to have everything 150%, which is how we'll like it, to just be so intense, so balanced, so coming together. And here it's like, okay, I can do this. I can find this balance, and it doesn't have to be perfection. And so that's where we start looking at ourselves. And during this time, when people criticize, we'll take it seriously. Well, because it is a criticism, but also because we want so much to be doing everything just right, to be lining everything up just so. And then the energy to be mindful of is justice. Now, justice is Libra energy, time frame September 23rd to October 22nd. And what justice is telling us is that I can't have everything balanced. And that's going to be really hard for us. This is an energy of a person coming in who wants everything by the book. And we're going to be like, no, let's see if it can happen a little bit more organically, a little bit more creatively. And they're going to be like, no, I want it just like this. It's going to be very black and very white. White page, black print. I've spelled it out for you. I've laid it out for you. That's what it is. And this is going to be a time where we love discovering. So if it's in written word, we will be more than happy to discover it that way. But we don't want to be boxed in. We don't want our wings to be clipped. We want to be able to explore and discover. So this is a time where we can feel that, that kind of like we're put in a cage a bit. And this is going to be a time where we could start thinking, oh, well, this creative way of looking at it, or this kind of going outside of the box way of looking at it isn't conforming to the orthodoxy. I should be conforming to the orthodoxy. But then if I do, I just feel like I'm losing a bit of me. So we have to be mindful of that energy during this time. There's a sense here with the Fool, with just beauty and brilliance, the beginning of a journey, the beginning of opening up the doors and saying, what do I want? And it's crowning our inner selves. So there's this real sense of, I need to start something. And it can be these fantastic wishes that we have. It can be with the Queen of Pentacles, nurturing and supporting my strength and my coming together and my insight and my ideas. And so during this time with the Fool, we are opening up our eyes and we're taking that leap of faith. We are also being warned about something as we go. So in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, you have that little dog barking. Here we have the lizard sitting in this nice warm egg. It's kind of like, okay, I'm comfortable, I'm cozy. How do I move forward? Do I want to move forward? I'm going to groan when I move forward and be like, oh, I've just had to kind of like step into ice water. And there's this real sense during this time of opening up our eyes and seeing what it is that not only we want, but what it is that we fear, what it is that overwhelms us, what it is that has held us back. And remember always, the Fool's journey is the beginning of the hero's journey. You don't achieve anything spectacular if it's always going to be played safe. And so this is a time where we say, I have to go for it. And people will be like, what are you, mad? And it's like, well, maybe a little bit, but I have to see what's going on. I have to see how I can push myself forward. I have to break that barrier. And as we break that barrier, it really does lead us to a place of of prosperity, of success, of putting down roots and saying, this is what's important to me, this is what I value, this is what I need, this is what I'm building and nurturing and embracing within my life, this is how I want to move forward. There's this real sense of really looking at things, and we can want things, okay, because fire and earth energy coming together here, because of course we are fire sign energies, and we have the two queens coming together with the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, and we have that connection. There's this sense of, if I warm it, it will grow. It's kind of like a seed being planted in the earth, or, you know, having this greenhouse around and putting the plants in it so that they can grow in this warm, nurturing place. But if we put too much heat, okay, then it cooks and it doesn't aid. So we're going to have to find this balance during this time of really looking at our prosperity, really looking at our abundance, looking at what we desire, what we need, what we want, how we want to move forward. And there's this real sense of letting our passion shine on it, but also knowing when to balance things, okay? When to look at things, when to be kinder to ourselves, when to step back and say, okay, I need to examine this. I need to kind of take a breath in, understand things better. And then it leads us to the Hermit, which amplifies the Virgo energy that's here, where it's like, I need to step back. I need to see what is right for me. I need to start following my star, my desire, my wishes, my joys, my hopes, my everything's in between. I need to look at things more openly, more honestly for myself. I need to step back. And as I step back, I start to create. And this is a time where we can find ourselves wanting to be in the middle of everything, right? But also really being comfortable, stepping back and figuring things out, stepping back and laying out the plans. And it doesn't matter if we are, you know, physicists or if we are, you know, artists. What matters during this time is that we're mapping things out for ourselves. We're giving ourselves a chance to let that spark shine forward, that spark that makes us different. Because all human beings, you know, we're not so intrinsically different from the next human being that we can't understand them. But we do have something interesting, something unique, something powerful to bring to the table. And that's what we're looking at here. And then we start to see the ways that we want to move forward. We start to see the opening up of a door. We start to see ourselves being able to kind of envision the world that we want to stand in, what we desire, the way that we want to move forward. We start to look at things openly and honestly for ourselves. And we start to be able to fly in a direction that feels right. We start to be able to say, oh, I can do this. But we also start to connect. Now, this can be with a twin flame, with love, with passion. This can also be with a sense of, this is what my heart desires, this is what I need, this is what I want, you know, this is where I'm headed to. I once was afraid, I once thought I could only stay in this small place. Now I'm starting to see things open. And it doesn't mean we have to go and travel the world if that's not what we want to do, or move anywhere. This means that I am looking at the world, and instead of being overwhelmed by it, I'm finding my footing within it. I'm gaining a greater understanding because of it, and I'm moving myself forward. And it brings us then to our hearts, which are astoundingly powerful during this time, and we're crowned with us. So here during this time, if we step out of love with ourselves, with our life, we will feel it really intensely. And that seems like a duh type of thing. It's like, Dane, if I fall out of love with myself, wouldn't I feel that instantaneously? Wouldn't that be traumatic? Well, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's like, oh, I don't have to be in love with who I am right now. I just have to get the job done. I just have to hunker down. I just have to do it. I just have to keep pushing forward. Here with the Queen of Wands, we're rolling up our sleeves. We're looking at what we desire. We're being much more open, much more honest with ourselves. And that can be a little bit scary. That could also be astoundingly overwhelming. And we're starting to see, how do I want to move forward? Where is it that I want to be? What is it that I desire? But also, what is my passion for this? How is this moving me forward? Where do I want to be in the long run? What am I questioning? What am I building? What am I desiring? You know, and desire is a huge part of us. Spirit had me say it like at least twice now, where there's this real sense of looking at what we long for, looking at where we long to be. Now, sometimes we long to be places that seem absolutely, you know, out like crazy. Like I really long to be able to jump out of a plane tomorrow. And if we're not trained, we can't do that. But there's the sense of, what is it that we desire? Is it desiring of adventure? Is it desiring of, you know, breaking free, of moving forward, of going after things, of having excitement within our lives? Because I see that being a really powerful pull for the heart, especially during this time. There's this real sense of, what is it that makes me shine? What is it that moves me in the direction that I long to be in? What is it that's opening up my eyes, that's guiding me forward? And during this time, there is a real need for our hearts to shine forward in beauty and in power and in this intrinsic value of self and what we desire. And it leads us then to the Queen of Swords. And it's so beautiful because we have 3 queens here. So we almost have all of the queens. We're just missing the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Swords is nobody's fool. The Queen of Swords is like, this is what I want. This is where I'm headed. This is what I'm going for. I see things more clearly now. I understand things more succinctly. I'm not being held back. I'm not being denied. I'm going after my goals. Period. End of discussion. This can seem a little bit cold, but it isn't cold. It's kind of like, if I don't push for it, who will? If I don't go after it, who will? If I can't move me forward, who will? And this is a time where we start to look at things. And it's not the egocentrical, narcissistic, me type of thing. It is the sense of, I matter. And I get to embrace the fact that I matter. And I get to push me forward. And there's this intensity to our spirit, to what we desire, that opens up the world for us, that opens up our eyes. And there's this real sense of cutting through a lot of the chaos that has held us back. And it's so interesting because once we find this, all right, there's this sense of being pulled back into doubt and fear, especially as the passion grows. We'll give ourselves 18 million explanations as why this can't work out, as why we can't move forward the way that we want to. The questions, the doubts, the sense of being overwhelmed. And it moves us then to the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords is this rebirth that is guiding us. And during this time, it's at the root of who we are. It's like, I am not the person that I was when I started this journey. And this can make us really sad, where we're looking at everything that we've been through. And it's kind of like, why did the road have to be so hard? Why did things have to be so overwhelming? Why couldn't I move forward the way that I needed to, the way that I wanted to? What is going on here? And the Ten of Swords is the darkness before the dawn, is the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. It is the minor arcana death card. And there's this real sense of understanding the wisdom that we have learned through the trials, the tribulations, and heartbreaks we have been through. And as we gain this understanding, as we gain this insight, we gain a power of voice, but also we gain a power of knowledge, a power of greater understanding, a focus, a tenacity. And it starts to show us kind of pulling the swords out of ourselves, pulling out the wounds and saying, no, pulling out what has wounded us and saying, this is now my weapon. This is now my sword. I know how to wield it because I know what it feels like to be speared by it. I know what it feels like to be sliced. And now I can turn the tables. And it's not that we're going to go seeking revenge. That's not what Spirit is saying at all. It's that now I understand the game a little bit more. I understand the connivingness, the underhandedness, the sneakiness, the everything to it. And now I'm moving myself forward. And it brings us to the public arena where at times we're going to be, kind of just scared and overwhelmed and nightmares and doubts and what if everything falls apart again, and how can I be sure in the world where everything moves so fast and everything has been so unsure and weird and scary over this time. It's like, how do I move to where I want to be? What is it that I desire? What is it that I'm going through? These are the nightmares that we have. What if I never get to fulfill my dreams? What if I never get to know what happiness is? And this starts to be a time where we look at our fears and we realize, I can either let you rule me, right? Or I can rule you. I can take those fears and make them into the bodyguards of my reality. I can take those fears and change them into my power and into my focus. And it moves us then to the Nine of Cups. Now again, the repeat of the number 9 means we're coming very close to the completion of a cycle in the public arena, and it's affecting us not on the kind of more hold to it stage of life. The pentacles and the wands, and the pentacles and the wands are career and money, things that we can see, things that we can kind of tackle. Excuse me. The swords and the cups are the mind and the heart. And so here we have the doubt of the mind coming in, but we have the blessing of the heart coming forward. And this is, again, embracing the heart, embracing emotional reactions to things, embracing the emotional understanding of things is going to be our greatest ally during this time. It doesn't mean that we, ping pong from things and we just emotionally go off. It means that we embrace our soul and ourself and our patience and our understanding, and we emotionally bring ourselves forward and say, how is it that I want to move forward in my life? What is it that I desire? Where is it that I want to be? And the Nine of Cups comes in, and we don't see this as well as other people do. We start to see our blessings. We start to see our talents. But what other people start to see is they start to see us shine. They start to see us step out of the shadows. They start to see us embracing this light that comes from this gift of the Queen of Pentacles, of knowing what we want and embracing our prosperity and kind of leveling up. And also, building this foundation and saying, this is what I'm nurturing within my life and for myself. And as this beauty shines forward, we get to embrace what we desire, what we want, what we need, and what we long for. And there's this real sense of a wish granting being around us in the public arena. It can be through a very kind of like out of the blue sort of way, but something beautiful starts coming forward. Something that we have longed for starts to fall into place. And it's going to be in a way that we hadn't expected. And it can be that we're having to do something, and then all of a sudden we realize that we're going to have to face somebody that we were just absolutely terrified of for the longest time. And then we realize, wow, you're not the scary ogre I thought you were. It moves us to strength. Now, this is a sense of knowing our talents, of knowing what we desire, but also standing tall and saying, I might be scared out of my mind, but I'm not going to cower away. I'm not going to weakly hide. I'm going to move forward in strength and in dignity and in power and in understanding and go after what I want. Period. End of discussion. This is also an understanding that strength isn't, being a bully, being a brute. It is the strength of love. It is the strength of compassion. It is the strength of understanding. It is the strength of listening. It is the strength of owning what we want and putting in the hard work in order to get there. And then it moves us to the world. It's like that starts to open up the world for us. Now, we are going to be challenged during this time by people who think, I can just push you around. I kind of smell your fear. Some people, they're just really good at that. Okay? Just being able to hone in on your fear when you're weak, when you're overwhelmed, they just kind of go in for the kill. In the public arena, we can have those people, but they're also going to be severely jealous of the beauty that they see around us, severely jealous of the way that they see us moving forward. They themselves aren't. And so here, the world opens, and we start to see, again, it's where we want to be within it. It's how we want to move forward. It's what we desire. It's what we're looking for and towards. And it's like it opens up our eyes in a really real way. And in a weird way, it's like, oh, I didn't realize I could move forward like this. I didn't realize I could go after this. I didn't realize I could have this. And it starts opening up our eyes to who we are, to what we want, to where we stand within this world, and to what we desire. And it moves us then to our spirit guide message. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. For Sagittarius, angels. Ooh, goodness. And spirit guides. So these two right here. And it brings us to beauty and soulfulness. So we are connecting with our soul and we're moving ourselves forward, saying this is what my soul desires, this is what my soul wants, and this is the beauty that gets to be a part of me. And it's a real kind of step back from what everybody else does. And it's like, this is the beauty of who I am. This is how it gets to be created. This is how it gets to be fostered and nurtured and empowered and emboldened. And then it moves us to our spirit guide message. Angels. Ooh, fantastic. And these, of course, were all meditated and shuffled upon beforehand. And our spirit guide message is the wombat spirit, which says, be at home. The starfish spirit, which says, opened to infinite possibilities. And the rabbit spirit, which says, now is a lucky time. So we have to be at home within ourselves, to be open to the infinite possibilities that come forward, and to know that this is a lucky time for us. And we can see that with the Nine of Cups, that this luck gets to be moved forward in a very loving, very brilliant way. And then it moves us to our subconscious message. Our subconscious spirit animal message is the dragonfly spirit. Truth transcends illusion. And that's what we're going to be doing a lot of during this time. Looking at what is our truth, what we're developing, what we want, the way that we want to move forward. It transcends the illusions that people are holding us back in, that we're holding ourselves back in, the fears, the darkness, the chaos, and it's being able to rise into greatness. It moves us then into our subconscious spirit guide message, which is compassion. And it's having compassion not only for the world, but also for ourselves through hard times, through overwhelming times. And it's being able to move us towards blessings. It leads us to our subconscious chakra message, which is inner strength. Once again, the solar plexus chakra coming forward. We're seeing ourselves break out of the shell that we were once in, break out of the confinements that we had, and being able to rejoice, being able to be emboldened, being able to move forward towards what we greatly desire and what we greatly want. It's going to be hard sometimes during this time to trust our gut, to trust our instincts, to really look at what we want from life. And it's going to be very easy to fall back into patterns of pain, of coping mechanisms that we've used since we were little to be able to kind of, deal with situations instead of thriving or getting ourselves out of certain situations. So that's going to be very important. It then moves us to our subconscious person message, which is the Princess of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. There's a sense here of somebody trying to figure things out when it comes to wealth, when it comes to money, and they're not going to want to ask for help, but they're going to want to become more than what they can bring to the table. So this is a time where we have to make sure that a person who kind of holds, it can be a new boss that comes in, it can be a new person looking at things. Okay, we need to make sure that our money is safe. During this time, I'm just seeing like somebody being like, maybe I can make things better by, and just making a mess. So just be really mindful of this. And that might be a very specific message for a very specific person. And then finally, we have our subconscious tarot message, which is the Eight of Swords. Doubts and fears and chaos. It plays right into the 9, the 10, and now we have 8, 9, and 10 in the swords. The sense of doubt, the sense of fear, the sense of I'm not who I once was, and maybe I don't know how to stand in this new truth, in this new power, in this new voice, in this new role. And so here with the 8 of Swords, we're really finding ourselves embracing our voice, embracing what we desire, and realizing that we can walk through the caged doors, that we're not held back anymore. It's the fear of the mind. It's the fear of the self that is holding us back. It's also the negativity of life that has come in, and it's making us doubt where we want to be within our existence, like how we want to move forward. And we're starting to find that choosing not to move at all, or being so afraid we're paralyzed, is in itself a choice. And we all go through those times where we're just paralyzed and overwhelmed. And we have to give ourselves compassion when we are in those times. But now it's like, look at it differently. Open up the door. Start to spread your wings. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we find that luck is turning, and as we embrace the strength that is so powerfully ours. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius.